Hey guys, what's going on? Smarty here, and welcome to the first episode thing that I'm doing of a little vlog series, Q&A series if you will, called Ask Smarty. Now, as I mentioned before, when it comes to video responses over the text questions that you ask on Twitter or Facebook, or even in the comments of the videos, video responses get top priority, and for this episode, we only got 2 video responses. So they get top priority. I'm a man of my word. So let's go see what they have to say first, and then we'll go on to the actual questions. So, bam.
Hey Smarty, my question for you, is technically 2 questions. I'm sorry if I'm cheating. First question is, where do you think you would be if you were never either partnered by Machinima, Blistered Thumbs, or if you never even discovered YouTube? And second question is, are you going to be at any cons this year? VidCon, Comic-Con, any of those? Yeah. Thanks, Smarty.
Well, seeing as you asked 2 questions, I'm okay with doing that. You totally didn't cheat. If you have multiple questions in a video response, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, for your first part, where would I be if I wasn't partnered by Machinima or on Blistered Thumbs or anything like that? Probably just doing my own thing. Probably working on my own website, posting there. Still on Twitter, the usual shit that I do. It would probably be a little less stress, though, because anyone who knows me kind of knows that I worry way too much about what you guys are gonna like on the channel. Yeah, I kind of tend to be a little self-conscious about that, but what can I do? As for your second part of that question, when it comes to if I didn't discover YouTube, I think that's kind of a hard thing to say in this day and age, because YouTube has become such an integrated part of our lives, is like, from a technological standpoint. Yeah, like, you can't go online without being linked to something on YouTube, or you can't go online and not find YouTube on Google, because seeing as they're partnered, it's very integrated. Therefore, I would always know about YouTube. So, if you're trying to say what would I do if I didn't know about posting videos on YouTube, I honestly don't know what. That's a tough question to answer. I'll have to get back to you on that one. As to your second question about the conventions and whatnot, yes, I am. Me and a couple of people from the Dinnerman crew, as we usually go to conventions and whatnot, we are already talking about going to MagFest. As you know, MagFest is... It just passed, it was in January. Me and a bunch of the That Guy with the Glasses people, the Channel Awesome people were there. I got in a van with Jeff, Brent, and Scott from Dinnerman and Associates. We all went over there and had a fucking blast. It was one of the best conventions I've ever been to, hands down. I was hoping to go to Con Bravo in Canada, but honestly, I don't see myself going there anytime soon. I don't even have money right now to get, like, a passport or anything like that, so that's a little difficult for me. Though, I'm definitely planning on going to New York Comic-Con, and also I'm thinking, because of everyone who went this year, I'm thinking of going to PAX. I might go to PAX East, so then I could hang out with Chilled Chaos, Z-Royal Viking, Diction, Eutoric, Gassy, Renee, Junk, everyone over there. That would be actually really fun. Get to meet all the YouTubers and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys see me at any of these conventions, as I always say, come say hi, stop me, be like, hey, I want to touch your boobies, and stuff like that. I don't know. JonTron reference.
Hey Smarty, sorry for the accent first off, I'm from Australia.
I'm really hoping at some point I do meet you at a convention, by the way, so then I can just stop you and be like, hello Bruce, what's going on Bruce? Anyway, now that I'm done mocking Australia, even though everything over there could kill you, on to your questions.
And I have 3 questions for you. Question number 1, what is your favourite band, movie, and game of all time? Now think about this. Think about what you listen to, what if you were stranded on an island, what would you watch or play? And yeah, if you reply to this, thanks, I guess. Yeah. See you later.
By the way, I do love the portal turret sitting in the background there. Anyway, so you want to know my favorite band, my favorite movie, and my favorite game of all time. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a tough one, and I know this is sort of a parted question and whatnot, but I don't care. I'm going to give this a shot. I would say my favorite band is honestly a tie between Streetlight Manifesto, their ska band, and Steam Powered Giraffe. Steam Powered Giraffe is a group of performance artists who basically mime robots, like they mime as robots, and they play musical instruments. They are a really good band. I'll link you to their website down there. But yeah, they are really fucking good. I've actually wanted to make a character for Last on the Bandwagon based around one of the characters in Steam Powered Giraffe, the rabbit. And it would take me a while to actually get like miming down, because how they make all of the noises that a robot makes with their mouth, like as if like their gears are turning or something like that, or like you hear steam, you'd hear like that sort of thing. They all do that by mouth, and it's very difficult to like do. You have to like actually learn this shit, and they took miming classes in college, and that's where they got to today. They're actually doing this like performing live, and it's amazing. Streetlight Manifesto, however, I like them due to one of their songs that really got me out of a dark place. It's a song called Somewhere in the Between, and there's their chorus to it. I heard it one day when I was working a shitty job, and I know this sounds weird, but like as soon as I heard it, I was just like, okay, like I was sitting there just depressed, and I was listening, and it popped on, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, you know what? Why am I complaining, and why am I upset about all this stupid shit? I should live my life and actually be a fucking like human being for once, and actually just live my life instead of moping about nothing. But then again, I was in high school at the time, and everyone knows in high school some people bitch and moan over nothing. First world problems, hashtag. Yeah, so there's that. As for my favorite movie, I'm not going to say it's my favorite movie of all time, so I'm technically not answering your question, but I am. It is actually one of my favorite movies. So when I say one of my favorite movies, I mean I have like 10, and I plan on doing a top 10, or not a top 10, just 10 of my favorite movies, like a list. But let me get it for you right now. I have it like right here. And that movie, the one I kind of always go back to, if I was sitting on as you said, if I was on a deserted island, this is the movie I would watch, Battle Royale. I was actually introduced to this movie by my good friend Carla. She did a video series on this channel with me. It was her playing Jew on the Grudge, because she has sort of a penchant for all Japanese horror and stuff like that. Asian horror, usually that sort of thing. But she introduced me to this movie, Battle Royale, and it's based on a manga where these kids are, like, I guess they're gassed, put to, like, they're given sleeping gas while they're on a school trip, and kidnapped, brought on an island, and forced into a competition that is basically run every year, or I think it's every 4 years. Actually, let me see. Yeah, it was forced. It's these junior high students, forced by the government every few years or so. What it's about really is just the struggle between like a person to survive, and the notion that could you really kill someone close to you? That's what it's all about. And you can tell that the person who wrote it really abhorred violence, and a lot of people do have that argument where they say Battle Royale is better than the Hunger Games, or the Hunger Games is better than Battle Royale, but you can't really compare them because Hunger Games more or less glorifies violence as if it's almost like reality TV, and Battle Royale actually abhors violence. So there is that major difference and whatnot. Difference. And then the last part of your question, what is my favorite game of all time? Again, I have like 10 favorite games, but honestly, if I was gonna go with like one that I harp back to, or something that I follow the lore of very closely, it would have to be, I'm gonna show it in the background. I'm moving the Heartless. It's not the Heartless, but it is, oh god, okay. I knocked over some shit. Anyway, so yeah, I was gonna say it is actually Fallout 3. I love Fallout 3 mainly for its story, for its in-depth universe. Mainly the Fallout series in general. As I mentioned in the last review of Okami, I wrote a research paper on how the Fallout universe is very intertwined with Greek mythology. How there's sort of notions and really like nods back to the Greek mythological era. Stuff like Poseidon Energy, Helios 1, I forget what's his name, Cerberus, the three-headed guard in the Ghoul town. I forget the exact name. That's gonna bother me now. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of things that really sort of shine out when it comes to Greek mythology in Fallout, and I wrote my paper on that, got an A because it was something I was passionate about. I fucking love that game, and I would do a Let's Play of it, but honestly, I'm of the belief that when you play Fallout, you really can only play it one time, because if you play it more than once, it loses that charm of just experiencing everything for the first time. I have Game of the Year edition on my PC, but I beat it all on the Xbox, so the charm is lost to me. I haven't played Fallout New Vegas, oddly enough, so maybe I can do something with that, but as long as people would enjoy it. I don't know, I have sort of a thing about that. Anyway, I tried playing Fallout New Vegas back on the Xbox. I really couldn't get into it. I can sort of get into it on the PC. I don't know what that is about, but who knows. Anyway, that's what I'm sticking with for your questions. Thank you so much. Anyway, now that we're done with the video response questions, we're going to go on to the text questions. Let's start off with the Facebooks. First question comes from Cody James Hammer, and he says, what was the reaction of your friends and family when you first started doing YouTube? As for my parents, they were really at first, like, iffy about it. Like, when I first got my Machinima Director's Program contract and all that stuff, they were like, this isn't a scam, right? And I'm like, no, it's not a scam, and I had to show them the YouTube channel back when it had, like, maybe, like, several 100,000 subscribers, and they're like, okay, this seems viable. And then, when I first started getting paid by them, they were like, oh, this is in fact a thing that he can do and do as a part-time job. This is kind of cool. And I don't know, it was something interesting to happen to me. I remember specifically one day I got paid a large sum by Machinima, and that was like the largest I've ever been paid by them. And I remember picking up my dad. He was going to Florida to visit some people over there, some people from our family. And he came back, got in the car, and we were talking, and he asked me, did I get paid? And I told him the amount, and I saw he had this look of surprise, almost as if he was, like, super proud of me. And that was, like, to me, that was sort of an achievement that I had. Just, like, not like an achievement, I mean, more or less, that was sort of, like, a moment where I realized I can do this. If I put my mind to it, I can do this as a living almost. And that's the farthest I've gone. Obviously, it's sort of stagnated now due to the fact that YouTube does all of their format changes and all their page layout changes, and it's really fucking with everyone. But regardless, as long as I'm having fun doing it, that's all my parents care about. So, as for my friends, well, seeing as we also, like, I've sort of introduced them to the idea of Let's Playing and stuff like that, and we have our own channel now. Plug. No. But we have our own channel and whatnot, and we do stuff together. It's sort of become normal to them. Like, at first they were like, this is kind of weird that you're just talking over video games and people find it enjoyable or something like that. But no, honestly, they now are sort of into it, and I really appreciate their help with all the stuff that they help me with. Like, asking Jeff to help me out with the last review, having Brent let me borrow his old Xbox for it, having Andrew shoot me with lightning, stuff like that. I don't know why I appreciate their help, and they appreciate helping me. It's really a nice thing between us. That's why we're friends, obviously. Why did I choose to Smarty as a name? Honestly, I didn't come up with the name. I originally had IR Smart 817. It was supposed to be funny, lol. But what happened was someone when we were playing Halo 2 thought of the name because they thought it would still be funny. And they're like, hey, John. They were like, hey, Smarty, because everyone called me Smarty at the time. And they were just bringing up how I should put Ted. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. And pretty much it just sort of rang from there. Michael Quinones asks, are there any hobbies you do besides the amazing YouTube? And thank you for thinking my YouTube is amazing. Other than YouTube, I honestly do a couple things. Like other than video games, I play guitar. I read comic books, watch movies. I'm an all-around nerd, I guess you could say. I like doing a lot of nerdy things. I'm really more or less, when it comes to guitar, I'm more or less a bass guitarist, a bassist, if you will. So yeah, I'll show you that at some point, eventually down the road. But yeah, that's what I do. Justin Page asks, how did you get popular with your videos, and any tips for people wanting to do the same, parentheses, like me? Well, Justin, I'm here to tell you that, honestly, it was a couple of things. It was networking, consistency, and sheer luck. Because, honestly, YouTube is a crapshoot, I guess you can say. It's a numbers game now, but honestly, it started at first when I got signed on to Machinima. I was at about 2,000 subscribers until I met, Chilled Chaos and all of them. And then we decided to play Minecraft one day, and I blew up his house. And that's when it went viral, I guess you could say. And then the Troll Wars happened, and then I got to 20,000 subscribers. Well, not 20,000, I got to 10,000. And after that, it sort of just snowballed from there, and now I'm almost at 30,000 subscribers. Yeah. Sheer luck meaning you have to really be in the right place at the right time, as I was when it came to Machinima and all that stuff. And then consistency is something I'm still struggling with, because, again, I still kind of, and I will admit I'm a little indecisive when it comes to content, but it's all about keeping content on the channel daily, so then you have something to bring people back to. I mean, I'm not the best for when it comes to advice on how to get popular on YouTube, but I try. Dakota Allen Roberts asks, how do you find the games you play today? Honestly, it's stuff, if you mean on my channel, it's usually stuff that I find on Steam, or if I have a couple of games, or if I buy something on Xbox. Usually it's mainly, when it came to Tony Hawk, I really wanted to play it because I found it at MagFest, and it was a game that was a piece of my fucking adolescence, and I wanted to share it with everyone, because if there was one game I could play, and if there's one game I could beat all the way through and play it over and over again, it's Tony Hawk's Underground. Runner 2 was something I found on PlayStation Network, and usually some of the stuff we play on Steam, like Arma 3, was suggested by Diction and Nanners and stuff like that. So that's how we usually get the games. It's usually through our circle of friends that we sort of come up with stuff. Yeah, so there's that. Last Facebook question, Juan Jose Martinez says, who inspired you to start making videos? It honestly was a group of people. It started with Hollywood Halo. They were a group of machinimators on Halo 2 who did a lot of stuff. I started doing stuff there, and then I stopped for a while, and then it was Red vs. Blue mixed with Digital Fear, because Red vs. Blue had this sense of professionalism to them, while Digital Fear had this do-it-yourself motif, and I really stuck to that. and I decided I wanted to do Machinima, therefore I got on machinima.com. As for the reviews and all that stuff, I have to say, really, my inspiration for doing reviews came from people like The Angry Video Game Nerd, Spoonie, The Nostalgia Critic, Nostalgia Chick, Owen Citizen, I would say JonTron without a doubt. JonTron's sort of the humor I go for now, because honestly, I see a lot of my humor in his, and just that wacky, off-the-wall sort of thing. Maybe almost a little less, because he says it's more or less like AVGN mixed with Tim and Eric Awesome Show. I wouldn't say Tim and Eric Awesome Show. I just think it's very off-the-wall, and I think that's something I really sort of stick to. So yeah, last off, as for, like, Let's Playing and stuff, that's just something I do. It's more or less thanks to, like, people that I hang out with, like Z, Chill, Diction, Gassy, pretty much that entire group that we hang out with. Those are the people who inspire me to do Let's Plays and stuff like that. So, yeah. We're going to go to 2 questions from Twitter, and we've got only 2 from there and 2 from Tumblr. Yeah, so Nexus Blitz asks, do you like Smarties and not the American one, the real Canadian ones? I have never had Smarties from Canada in my life. I know of them thanks to, like, Luke Mockery, but I have never had them ever in my life. So, if anyone sees me at a convention and they're from Canada, specifically if you go to MagFest, please bring me Smarties, because I've never had them before. That would be great. DeTrevel asks, where do you see your channel in 5 years? Honestly, I have to say, when it comes to my channel, I'm really hoping and I'm just being very optimistic here, I could see myself maybe over 50,000 subscribers. I don't think that would be, obviously, within the next 5 years. If we're thinking next 5 years, I want to say over at least 100,000 subscribers. That's kind of where I want to be at, but I'm honestly doubting that right now, seeing as how I'm growing. Because I basically make it to, like, 10,000 every, like, 5 to 6 months. So, I don't know how that's going to go for me. So, here's to hoping I can get to at least to 100,000 subscribers by the next 5 years. Who knows? But that's what I'm really hoping for. If anything, where do I see my channel as well? There's a small part of me that obviously wants to do this for a living with no issues whatsoever, live comfortably by just playing games from my childhood and stuff like that. But that's up in the air right now. I need to work on my channel a lot more and make my own content more consistent and whatnot. So, we will see how that goes. But thank you for the question. Okay, I did lie, though. We do actually have some questions from YouTube as for the comments. But, yeah. So, Corey Master asked, why did I not go to PAX? Simply put, I didn't have any money. I really don't have any money right now, and when I did get money, which is from my tax refunds and stuff like that, everyone was gone for PAX. So, yeah, now my main goal is just to save money and have at least a comma in my bank account, so then I can at least sort of save for events like PAX or MagFest. Something like that, so I won't have to stress out about saving till the last minute. And Ninja Star Sunday asked, what do you think of Lyle not liking Channel Awesome, seeing as you've collaborated with members of it? And I assume you mean Lyle Guitar Master X7. Honestly, I don't care if he doesn't like Channel Awesome. That's good on him. He doesn't have to like what I like or what I do. That's the same thing. If you don't like Channel Awesome, or if you don't like Machinima.com, that's fine. You don't have to like whoever you don't want to like. I'm not forcing you as a person to enjoy the things I associate with. So, that's on you. You can enjoy whatever you want to enjoy, but at the end of the day, that's on you. And then we have some Tumblr questions by one guy. He has 2 questions for me. They are both... Yeah, alright, so... Meow Has the Phone Box asks, who do you think should be the 12th Doctor, and which Doctor do you prefer, 4 or 9? And obviously, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, he's obviously referring to Doctor Who, because I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who, the British TV show. I really should have more hot chocolate, because this is fucking cold now. For the first question, who I think should be the 12th Doctor, honestly, and this is going to be very out of the ordinary for me, Idris Elba. I don't know why, I just think that Idris Elba, if you don't know who that is, he was he was in charge of the ship on Prometheus. He was in I remember he was in a certain Mumford & Sons music video. He's going to be in Pacific Rim. Yeah, he's a very good actor. African American, or not African American. What would that be? African British? African English? Fuck it. He's a black actor who's from the UK. Yeah, he's a very good actor. I could see him totally pulling off the role of the Doctor. But unfortunately, knowing the fandom, they would have a shit fit of, like, they would have a shit fit. His second question as well, which Doctor do I prefer, 4 or 9? That's also a very tough question because they both have distinct personalities. 9 is very serious and just very, like, he's very dry almost, but at the same time he's very stern and very serious about things. As for 4 knows how to be silly, but at times knows how to be serious, and that's what I kind of like. I guess if anything, I would have to go with 4, because I like that balance of serious and silly when it comes to an actor. Like, he knows how to be funny at times, and he knows how to be silly and dumb. But, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. But as for my favorite Doctor, we'll go with, as for my favorite classic Doctor, I'm going to go with Peter Davison. And on that note, guys, that is the end of Ask Smarty Episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to ask questions or submit video responses, please feel free to do so. I'm willing to answer questions about anything you want to talk about, whether it be life, death, infinity, religion, anything of that sort. Even you can go not safe for work. You can even ask the silverback gorilla question if you want. Yeah, I even went there. But regardless, with that said, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this Ask Smarty thingy. I want to do more of these things because I want to get more personal with the fans. So, this is Smarty, signing off.